Good morning and welcome to today's stream. Now, I must say today wasn't the stream that I had planned, as it is my birthday. You know, I even got some fancy graphics so I could have some balloons come up. So yeah, today is my birthday, and normally I would have, there was other things that I wanted to talk to you about today. But something strange happened to me on Monday evening where I was just browsing Facebook and all of a sudden got logged out. And when I tried to log back in, I got a message saying that my account had been put into a special memorialized state, and that I had some other links and that I could click on to prove who I was and, go from there, which I've done, and I'm still waiting. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So let's get into today's show. So as I said, today I'm going to be talking about Facebook memorializing my account and how that affects me going forward for the moment, but also what it might do if you're relying on social media as part of your business. So I'm going to be discussing all of that in today's show. Hi, my name is Jason Kruger, and I help heart-centered businesses build and automate their online marketing systems. So as I stated at the beginning of the week, I was browsing Facebook, got logged out, and when I tried to log back in, I got this message saying that the account had been put into a special memorialized state. So if you do follow me or are friends with me on Facebook, go to the account and you'll see what it says. At the moment, it says remembering Jason Kruger, and then you can kind of put messages and that of kind of remembrance, I would suppose, on there. So, and as I said, today's my birthday, so I've got friends and family that might be wanting to leave me a message, and if I haven't spoken to them in a while, they're going to get this funny profile saying remembering Jason Kruger. It might come as a little bit of a shock to them. So, what can I do? Well, I've followed Facebook's advice and I've sent them a message. As part of that, you had to take a selfie with your ID in the photo as well, so they could verify that it's you. And once they do that, I suppose then they open up the conversation and find out what's going on. But I'm still waiting, and it's been 36 hours or something like that. So I don't know how long this is going to take. Hopefully it does, because I've now lost access to my Facebook account, my business pages as well. Not that I rely that much on them, but like, for instance, today's stream would have gone out onto my Facebook page as well. I can't do that because I don't have access to it. Now, yes, I probably should have had someone else set up as an admin on that Facebook page, but as I said, it's not kind of business critical for me. It's not a platform that I rely on for business. Yes, some people do message me through that, but it's not something that I solely rely on. So, that's where there could be some issues. So, like I said, I have no idea how this happened. As I said, I was just browsing Facebook and all of a sudden got locked out. So either there's a glitch at Facebook. I doubt that my account got hacked, because if someone tried to log into my account, I would have been notified, as you do, if someone's tried to log in from a different account. So I don't think it's that. I think it might just be a glitch in Facebook, but I don't even know how do you notify someone or Facebook that the Facebook account needs to go into that state anyway. I don't know. So I'm just waiting on Facebook now to respond and hopefully get this sorted out. But as I said, I have no idea how long that is going to take. So what can I do now? Well, as I said, I can't do much at the moment. I have to just wait to see what Facebook comes back with. Hopefully they do. I might have to message them again soon, just to see if something can be done a lot quicker, but from what I've heard with other people dealing with Facebook, it could be a while. So if you have been trying to contact me on Facebook, then I'm afraid I haven't got no access, and I don't know when that's going to happen. So if you do want to contact me, either go to my website, contact me through there, or go to my Twitter account or Instagram. So I've started putting a few more things on there just to tell people what's going on. But why have I brought this to your attention? Because the issue you're going to have is if you are using social media to build your business, yes, it's a great tool. And I have seen, probably in the last 6 to 12 months, I've seen social media accounts get banned from the platforms. There was some big high profile ones that happened in the last 6 months, whatever. Presidents getting banned from the platforms. And if you're building your business on these platforms, you do run the risk of something like this happening. Now, a lot of those accounts have been banned or blocked because of stuff that they have said on these social media platforms. If you go against their terms of use or whatever, they do have a right to just stop you from using them. And yes, I know about freedom of speech, etc., but these are private companies. It's their platform. They can do what they want, really, which is not great, especially with the abuse that's been happening on some of these platforms as well. It's not on. But they control everything, and there's a lot of the time there's not much we can do about it. So you do run the risk of something happening to your accounts, and if you are solely relying on that and you're building your business on these social media platforms, you do run the risk of all of a sudden overnight everything could disappear. That's what happened to me on Monday. All of a sudden don't have access to Facebook, and it does make you realize how much you actually use these platforms. And maybe it's a good thing, get a bit of a detox from Facebook while this is going on. But if you are building your businesses online using these platforms, you do run the risk of your business just disappearing overnight. And that's where this kind of topic has come back, and I want to discuss it, because you can't just rely on building your business using these social media platforms, because what happens if this happens? It just disappears. So you need to look to diversify and look at other ways that you can build your business online, because as I said, other accounts have been blocked and deleted, whatever, because of the content that they're putting on. So if you worried about the content that you putting out on social media, then yes, there is always a risk that content could get flagged. But if you're careful, shouldn't have a problem. But all I was doing was browsing, haven't posted anything that could get the account stopped, and all of a sudden I've just lost access to it with no fault of my own, and now I'm fighting to get that back. Don't know how long that's going to take. Hopefully I will get it back. But it just shows that relying on these platforms can be quite dangerous, because you don't actually even have to do anything wrong for your account to be closed down. So you do need to have a look at that. And especially if you're using Facebook groups and things like that, that can be quite dangerous as well, especially if you don't have any other admins that could jump in and still have access to that. And that is something that I do urge you to have a look at. If you do have Facebook groups, Facebook pages that are business critical, make sure that you've got other people that you trust that can be admins to those pages and groups as well. Because if you lose access, you could still get access another way. And that will help, if something like this happens. But when this thing does happen, it also means that you can't communicate with your audience. At the moment, I can't, if someone is following my Facebook page and they don't follow me on any other platform, they have no idea what's going on, because I haven't posted anything on there. The stream that was meant to go out this morning is not on there. I've somehow managed to get stuff onto my Facebook page through Instagram because my Instagram account is connected to it. And somehow through that way, I have been able to post a couple of things on my Facebook page. But if someone replies or puts a post on there, I have got no idea how I would even get access to that, because I can post stuff on there, but I can't reply to comments, etc. So that's been one little way that I can do it. But you know, as I said, these platforms control themselves, and you might not do anything wrong and your account gets stopped. So what can you do? And then one of the things is make sure that you've got other ways of communicating with your audience. And one of those ways is building your email list. Now, I have covered this in the past on a similar topic when some of the people that I follow had their YouTube accounts kind of their access was restricted for 7 days or whatever, and they weren't able to communicate with their audience because they just used YouTube, etc. to communicate. So building an email list is definitely going to be one way to make sure that you're not relying on these social media platforms. Yes, use social media to get the word out and get people engaged, but make sure that you try and get them onto your email list, because that is something that you own, that's something that you control, and you can then send out emails to your audience, to your subscribers, telling them what is going on. That is something that I have managed to do this morning. I've sent out an email to my list telling them what's going on and sending them a link to this stream as well. So there is another way for me to communicate. And sometimes to build your email list, you do need a website. Again, that is something, depending on what platform you build your website on, that is something that you control. And you can make sure that that's always up. If you're building it on WordPress, the self-hosted version, for example, which is what I do with all my sites and my client sites, is I have backups of all those sites. So if something happens to a web host, I've got a backup and I could get that up on another web host fairly quickly. So there's not going to be too much disruption on there because we own those assets. We can do what we want with them. If you're using systems like Squarespace, Wix, etc., you are tied into their system. So if something happens to them, then you will struggle because everything's on their systems. And if something happens to them, which doesn't happen that often, and you know, you're then stuck with whatever they do to try and get those systems up and running. Now, if you are building communities within Facebook, for example, Facebook groups, again, take steps to try and mitigate issues like I've just had now where I can't access anything on Facebook. Make sure that you've got other admins that can kind of take over for you and post on your behalf, etc., so that people still know what's going on, they're still getting the information that you've promised, etc. Another way of doing it is not to use them at all, and that's what I'm looking to build, and I'm in the process of building at the moment. So if you are one of my subscribers, you will get an email in the next few weeks detailing what I am doing regarding that. But I'm building kind of my Facebook groups off Facebook just for this reason. Now, yes, it might take a bit longer to build because Facebook is just so easy. You know, if people are on there, they just click join and they've joined your group. But some of the issues that I've always found with Facebook groups, and I have been, or hopefully still am, a member of many different groups. But the issue you have is that when people are in a lot of groups and their newsfeed is quite busy, then sometimes they might actually miss information. Unless they really go into the group and then search around, they might miss some information that you've posted or another member has posted, which might be critical to them. And that's what you get with these platforms, unfortunately. there's also a lot of distractions. People might have the best intention of actually going into the group and having a look, but then they get distracted by a friend's post of their cat or their dog or whatever, and then all of a sudden they out of that group, they're looking at something else, and then an hour later they realize, oh yeah, I was meant to be looking at something within that Facebook group. As well as, and the other issue you have is notifications. Do people always get notified when there's new posts in there, when you've answered something for them? Is it as reliable as you hoped it to be? Now, as I said, I am building my community off of Facebook. It's still in its infant stage. I'm still building it all out, etc. But I'm using a platform called Circle, and it does have some UI or user interface features that are very similar to Facebook. And the reason I've chosen this platform is because of that reason. There were a lot of other platforms, free platforms, that I could have chosen, but the issue with those is it can be confusing, and I understand my audience. I help them with their online tech, etc. So I don't want something to be there that's going to be complicated for them to use. So Circle is a great platform. On there, you can build something that looks similar to Facebook, but in my opinion will probably be a lot better. There's still a lot more features that they need to add. They're looking to add events and the live streaming, so you can then stream directly into these, which is something they don't have and Facebook does at the moment, but that is coming. But one of the greatest new little features that they've added is group messaging. So before you could just message people directly within the platform, but now they've done it so that you can actually set up groups and message people within those groups as well. So it's become very powerful. And if you are setting up communities where there are going to be a few people that need to just be put into groups to discuss things, this is now a great feature that they've added. But the other thing they also have now is a mobile app. So people can now access it directly on their phones, and they get notified when there's new posts, etc. on there. You also set that all up when you set up the different, what they call spaces within your account. But I will be going into more detail on how this is all gets set up in a future video, and explaining how I've set it up, why I've set it up like I have, but also some of the features that I love about it. So, if you do want to see that, then please look out for that video, and click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you get notified when I next go live. And as it's my birthday, I am currently, the last time I checked, on 99 subscribers. I'm trying to get 100 by the end of the day. It was my target to get 100 by my birthday. So fingers crossed I can just get at 1, maybe 2 subscribers today to help me with that. So if you are watching this, or watch the replay later, if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be greatly appreciated. But you'll also then get notified when I next post a video, or when I next go live. So if something about communities, membership sites, etc. is something that you're interested in, then please click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you get notified when those ones do come out. But going back to this whole thing about being locked out of your social media, it is something that's become more prevalent recently. I have seen more accounts getting blocked or deleted, mainly because of the content that they have put out. And sometimes when you look at the content, you're like, I don't understand why they got blocked. Sometimes it just happens. A lot of these times these accounts get flagged automatically by algorithms, and they can get notified for the wrong reasons. But then it's up to you to go through that whole process of trying to get your account back, and that can become frustrating. It's frustrating for me at the moment because I don't have access to any of that. So when it comes to building your business online, yes, use social media, but just be careful about what you post, just so you don't get flagged by these platforms. Most people won't be posting anything that might go against their terms of use. But as I said, I didn't do it either, and my account got memorialized, of all things. So if you do rely on those platforms, then just be careful, because anything could happen. But making sure that you have those strong foundations for your online business, make sure one of the very first things that you should always be doing when you're building your online business is creating that list, because that is something that you do control. Have somewhere where people can still go and find out more information about you. Have a website up where you are putting more information about what it is that you do, how they can contact you, the products and services that you may offer. So people have got a place to still go to find out more information. And make sure that you are giving people the opportunity to subscribe to your list through newsletters, ebooks, reports, short audio courses or video courses, anything like that, to get people on your list. But make sure that it is worthy of being on the list. You don't want to just give out any sort of information. It has to be valuable. It has to be something that's going to help someone in their current situation. And then I'm doing all this content on YouTube, etc. I'm coming up to also around about 100 videos now. So there's a lot of content that I've created over the last, I started doing this more often now from September last year. So, it's getting on to, 10 months now, and I'm almost hitting 100 videos. What happens if my YouTube channel gets blocked? What happens to all that content? That would be a big blow, because I'm been building it steadily, trying to help as many people as I can through the knowledge that I've gained through my business over the last 8-10 years, whatever it is. But what I have been doing is I do download every single video that I do. So when I go live, I do then download that live, so that I have got that as well. All the pre-recorded videos that I do, I still have that. But what I've now done as well is I have a platform, and it's a platform called Searchy, where I upload all my videos. So all my free videos go into that platform. People can subscribe for free to get access to that. And if that is something that you are interested in, then please go to jasonkruger.com/free. Now, I will have more graphics and all that coming up. I've actually been sorting a lot of stuff out in my production. I've got a few new little toys that I will be discussing as well in future videos. So I will have more graphics on there. But yeah, if that free membership site where all my videos go into interests you, then please go to jasonkruger.com/free. And the reason I upload all my content to these platforms as well is because what Searchy does is very different to a lot of the other platforms, in that it transcribes every video or audio file that I upload to it, which means that the videos themselves are searchable. The issues you have with YouTube is people can search for it, but it's only really searching the title and the description. And sometimes you might have said more information within the video, but people can't find that without actually going to the video and then searching for it. And that's where Searchy has been a big benefit to me, because I talk a lot and do a lot of tutorials on different online tech, but I might cover a few different areas within one video. And instead of trying to cut up that video, which then doesn't really make sense, people can search for that term. And what Searchy will do is it will pull up all the videos that might have that search term in the title, but also within the video itself, which then means that when they click on it, they go directly to that part in the video, where I'm discussing that term. They don't have to scrub through the video to find it. It takes them directly to that. So that's another way that I'm using now to make sure that if something happens to my YouTube account, for instance, I have that content somewhere else that people can still access it. They can still find that information. Yes, okay, it's not going to be found like it is on YouTube, but people will still have access to that. I can do other marketing to get people into that free membership. And by doing that, I'm also growing my list. And I know that people that are on my list are going to be interested in those topics. They might need help with some of those tech questions that they may have. If you've got any other comments regarding anything that I have covered today, maybe you've got other questions regarding what's happened to me, or how you might be able to diversify your online business, then please leave a comment down below and I will make sure that I answer that for you. And if the topic that I have covered today does interest you and you want to know more when future videos do come out, then please click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell as well, so that you get notified when I next go live or when I next post a video. And as I said as well, it is my birthday today. I am one subscriber away from hitting that 100 mark, which will then also allow me to create a better URL for my YouTube channel. At the moment, I've still got the big long letters, etc., and I do want to have a more custom URL. So, you know, if it does interest you, then please click on that subscribe button. So I think I'm going to leave that there today. I'm going to go and have some more coffee and maybe find some cake somewhere to celebrate my birthday. You know, everyone's at work today, everyone's at school, so, you know, I'll be able to have something with the family later this evening. So I hope you've enjoyed this topic. It is something that can become very frustrating if you are just using that social media just for your business, and you know, you get locked out. And I hope, you know, some of the things that I've said today will help you to diversify and mitigate these types of issues in the future. So I hope to see you on the next one.